Okay. Yes. Yeah. Hello and welcome. Before we begin hearing from our guest speakers today, please join me in watching a short, safe driving PSA video made by KaʻU High art students. Please can I have your attention to the screen over there? Imagine receiving a call informing you that your ohana or close friend has been tragically killed by an impaired driving crash. Imagine the indescribable pain and heartbreak the senseless death would cause you and your loved ones. For some, this is a reality, a horror that they will have to live with for the rest of their lives. We all can play a major role in stopping impaired driving, fatalities, and crashes. That is why we are here today. My fellow classmates, we are the future leaders. We have the power to make change happen. Let's do our part moving forward to be responsible drivers and help spread the message of living and driving sober, keeping our roadways safe. The Drive with Aloha is a mural program that started in the fall of 2023 by Keep It Flowing in partnership with the Hawaiʻi Department of Transportation. Hawaiʻi Partnership to Prevent Underage Drinking, Coalition for a Drug-Free Hawaiʻi, the East Hawaiʻi Drug-Free Coalition. The program's goals are to assist the community in stopping impaired driving crashes to reinforce driving sober through the art and education. We are the 11th school to receive a large-scale Driving with Aloha mural that our students painted with Keep It Flowing team and supporters from the community. Once the mural program is completed, the Keep It Flowing team will continue to spread their mission painting murals and spreading awareness and education to other schools around the state, like Kaʻu High School. To my fellow KaʻU Trojans, let's stand in unity and put an end to impaired driving in our community by spreading what you have learned by our guest speakers. Today we have speakers who share vital information, wisdoms, and testimonials. Please give them your full attention and respect that they deserve. Okay. Please welcome Sally Aicheta, East Hawaiʻi Drug-Free Coalition Coordinator.
Aloha. Oh, come on, guys. We can do better than that because you're going on spring break pretty soon, right? You guys are ready to head out. So, ka'u, aloha. Mahalo. I am Aunty Sally. I am from the East Hawaiʻi Drug-Free Coalition. I am a coalition coordinator. I have been serving our community for over 20 years to prevent youth impairment, either through drugs and alcohol or vaping. And I'm coming out here to you today to talk to you just for a few minutes about impaired driving and why it's so dangerous on our roads on the Big Island. You know, our island is beautiful. To get out here to KaʻU is our family home. We come out here, our family was raised out here fishing. My husband is from the Hamakua coast, but we consider Kalawalu Bay our home. And coming out here, we have to be sober on these roads. It's dark, it's dangerous, and for you guys, it's doubly dangerous because of not just impairment from alcohol, but from dabbing and vaping and dual drug use. It hurts you, it hurts your decision making, and we know that it starts at a very young age. On Hawaii Island in East Hawaii, our children start drinking under the age of 8 years old. So we know that youth are using alcohol and other substances from a really young age, and that starts to create bad decision making. So in East Hawaii, 40% of our 10th grade girls are binge drinking. And we know that that can create really scary situations, not just for them, but if they're behind the wheel of a car. So what can we do? What can we do to get rid of this scary mix of drugs and alcohol? We can make choices. So that's what we're here to help you today, learn more about, to make wise choices, that this decision of impaired driving, you guys, if you're around your friends and they're impaired, you can help them. You can take the keys. You know, you're the generation that's telling us, you know, like, Mom, check your face, you know, when you're in public, because she's acting like kind of like that resting face is not a happy one. Maybe you could be the generation to tell the adults, I'm going to check your keys. You're at family parties. You're at the grad parties. You're at the places where people are drinking, or maybe they're using other things. They're dabbing, they're smoking, and maybe you're the only sober one there. So we want to give you the ability to say, hey, you know what? I want you to get home safely, and I want to be there for you. So let's commit to looking out for one another. Call a friend. Don't ever be afraid to call your parents. Take their keys, help them find another way home. Because we are all in this together. We all live on this island together. We use these roads together. We're going to depend on you as the next generation coming up as drivers to make those wise choices. Maybe wiser than the ones before you. So now I'd like to introduce my very good friend. She's a great advocate, and she will share her story, how she was when she was your age, and what happened to her that changed her life forever. Mahalo nui, balama pono, and choose wisely. I'd like to introduce our Vice Chair, Kamlyn Pola. Mahalo.
Good morning, Trojans. Okay. Whew. I shared my story many times, but it never gets easier, so please bear with me. Okay? My name is Kamlyn Pola. I am a survivor. When I was in high school, I was at Hilo High School, and I was a sophomore. Who knows where Kolikoli Beach Park is? Yeah, you guys know where it is? Well, it's in Hamakua. It's a nice beach park. We grew up in Hamakua. So on Friday, we were in school and we were planning, our friend was having this rager, right? That's what we called it back in the day. And we were so excited because we were gonna party. Well, let me just tell you that that party turned into a nightmare and it shattered every single one of our dreams. So we wanted to get drunk, we wanted to have fun. It was just the best time, right? We were so cool, we were so invincible. Nothing bad was gonna happen to us. But I'm here to tell you that you need to change your mindset, because it did. And 3 of the people on that poster right there died. Okay, so we were at a party. Just imagine, we're having so much fun. We're drinking. I had like this tequila bottle filled with seeds, and we were taking shots. We wanted to get drunk, and we wanted to get drunk fast. Okay, all I remember was looking up, and all I saw was blue lights coming down. There was over 100 high school students running to the car, okay, to get away. And then the cops let us go. We were driving towards Hilo. My friend asked me, hey, Cam, are you going home? I'm like, no, we're going to the next destination. Well, 5 minutes from my house, 2 cars were racing. this lady tried to avoid them and hit us head on. This is the car I was in. This is it right here. It looks like a tin can, crunch tin can. My two friends in the front, the driver and the passenger, you couldn't even see their body. Okay? Imagine that. I woke up in the hospital asking them, "Where's Carly?" My cousin sitting there, and she told me, "Carly is dead." Okay? She died along with Brandon and Boy. They were gone because two reckless drivers decided to drink and drive. And it was all fun and games until somebody died. And 4 lives were lost that night. 4 people died for nothing. Okay, so I woke up. I was in excruciating pain. My leg was tied to the bed because my left hip dislocated. The right side of my cheekbone was shattered. So I had plastic surgery to repair the right side of my face. And thank God I had a good surgeon because I wouldn't have looked the same. My left elbow was broken. I had a cast for 6 months. I also had surgery on that. But my scars healed. I healed physically. But mentally and emotionally, I didn't heal. And that's why I come to the schools and I share my story in hopes that you will make better choices and not end up like me. Okay, so please, when we tell you, be safe, don't drink and drive, listen to your parents. Because if I just went home that night, we wouldn't have been in the car accident. I was 5 minutes away from my house when I made that conscious decision to not go home, to go to another party, and it ruined my life. Okay, I see some people smiling like it's funny. It's not funny. Okay, the reason why I'm sharing this story is to help you so you can make a better choice. If you're drinking or anybody you know is drinking, take away their keys, throw away their keys, do something about it. You're young, but you're powerful. You still have a voice. Okay, thank you for listening to my story. Be safe and God bless.
Okay. Please welcome Aunty Mary, Victims Advocate.
Aloha Trojans, good morning. So my story doesn't take place on our island. My story takes place on the island of Oahu. How many of you are familiar with Waianae? Makaha? Okay. Early Saturday morning, beautiful, beautiful morning. How many of you plan to spend time with your family on a Saturday morning? Right? That's supposed to be family time. I decided to take a ride that morning. I woke up several days later in Queens Medical Center in the ICU. I asked my husband what happened. Told me I was in an accident. I was hooked up to so many machines and so many doctors and nurses in my room. I had no idea what was going on. I told him, okay, what happened to my van? Where's Bryson? Where's my oldest son? The doctor told him, whatever you do, don't lie to her. Tell her the truth. He looked at me and said, he didn't make it. I said, what do you mean? He said, you weren't driving your van. You were riding your bike. I had a 10-speed bike, and I had one of those trailers hooked up to the back of my bike, and I had an infant seat. My daughter would ride in the infant seat, and my boys would ride in the back trailer. I asked, where's my twins? They didn't make it either. My twins are 15 months old, and my son was 4 years old. We were on our way back home. We went down to Ohikilolo Ranch, turned around, figured we'd do a short ride that day. Coming home, a lady hit us with a truck. She was speeding. She hit us. She left us. Went home, came back, took a look at my twin son on the road. Didn't assist, didn't call 911. She left. Who does that? Who leaves 3 babies on the road with their mom? Well, she did. Homeless people who were living under the bridge came to assist. People who were passing by stopped traffic and called for help. I was medevac to Queens Medical Center. This hit the news big time. People in Waianae were angry. People on the island were angry, tried to look for her. It was like a manhunt. Everyone wanted to find her. Fortunately, a neighbor had noticed that this person who always reversed her truck into her space went in head first, front first. When they looked at her car and they found her car, it was filled with blood and hair in her windshield and her headlights, which belonged to myself and my daughter. Later on, we found out that my oldest son had flown over 100 feet and broke every bone in his body. My twins were pronounced on the scene as well. You think things like this doesn't happen to you. It's never going to happen to you. But because of one person's selfishness, later we found out she was down at the beach all night drinking with her friends. Decided to drive home, speeding. Oh, she didn't see us. It was so bright, the sun was too bright. She went home, she hid at her house, she drank another bottle of rum. Didn't care. Later on, we found out that she lived only 3 blocks away from my house. Attorney said she was up all night drinking. She wasn't even supposed to be behind the wheel. She already had her license taken away from her. Selfishness, ignorance. She didn't even serve 1 year. Yeah. Oh, we shouldn't put her in jail. She might be suicidal. Well, I'm sorry, you would have been doing us a favor. You know? The next time I saw my children was in a coffin, the day I had to bury them. You are the leaders. You guys are the next leaders. Make good choices. This is hard to come and share with you guys. Like Cam, I sustained a lot of injuries too. I lost my left kidney. I lost my spleen. I lost my arm was broken in half. I have a rod holding it. Shattered my shoulder, my whole pelvic area. I was in a wheelchair for a long time. They told me I wouldn't walk again. So I've been blessed. I had to do therapy myself. This is hard. This is hard to come and share with you guys every time. But if it makes a difference, no parent should have to outlive their child, their children. So on behalf of our crew, Ken and his crew, please take what you hear from us today, share it. Don't get in a car with somebody who's drinking and driving. Make a difference. Mahalo.
Next, please welcome Officer Jonathan Bartch from the Hawaiʻi Police Department.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Bartch. Big hand for our speakers. They are so I can't imagine. I mean, it's hard enough for me to share, what I've seen, and it's not even really my story. I mean, it's what I've seen, and it's so difficult for me. I don't know. I'm a little tougher than I look, but I'm still not that tough. It's really hard. I think, a lot of times we're looked at as officers. We're in this uniform. We have these weapons, and we do, all sorts of stuff, but we're still human. I still have a mom and a dad. I still have siblings and loved ones, and it's really difficult. And anyway, yeah. Do you guys know how to use a phone? You're pretty good at it. A lot of you were born into it. Like when you're a little kid, and literally with this, you can save a life. It could be anything. It could be calling your parents. It could be calling the police. True love is sometimes tough love. Truly caring for someone is possibly calling the police. I know you guys think, we just want to get them. I love to arrest people if it will change their life. I've arrested my friend, and then he was killed by a drunk driver. How's that? I arrested him for drunk driving. I'll get into that a little later. Please help with the mural. I actually helped with ours in Kohala. I brought my grandson. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I'm too young, right? But I have an 8-year-old grandson. We had so much fun helping with it. And the cool thing is, for like the rest of your life, you could say, wow, I was a part of that. And they have these amazing artists. It's just like, you just kind of color in the areas that they've drawn out for you. And it looks like you're this amazing artist because they've done all the hard work, and you just get to fill it in. But I really want to encourage you guys to just live a sober lifestyle. At least, please, at least until you're 21, if not later. It just affects so many things. Doctors are finding out more and more the effects of alcohol. Your frontal lobe still got to develop, I think, up until 25 or more. But the longer you wait, the more money you save. I lived that lifestyle, and enabled me to start in the police department at just before my 21st birthday, and retire at 45 years old because I did not make alcohol or drugs, a part of my life and control it. I have family members. My brother has led a very different life than I have. I love him, and he has wasted so much time and money and with alcohol and drugs. Thank God he's doing much, much better. I think about just the trauma that it's given me in people's stupid choices. I feel like swearing right now. I don't want to get in trouble, though. I'm so angry. The trauma that it caused me and how that's affected even my children. I pretty much don't bring it home with me, but like my daughter returned from college, and I was just like adamant that she didn't. It was a big deal. I was so angry, and people don't get it. Even my wonderful wife didn't get it, that I want her home at 10 o'clock. I don't care how old she is. I want to be able to sleep. Because some a-hole, can I say that, is out there drunk driving and going to kill one of you beautiful people or my daughter. Because of what I've seen, I caused stress in my marriage because I wanted to enact strict rules in my house. Because I've seen what people have done to my beautiful people. Totally avoidable. They could have saved the money on the alcohol. They could have saved killing. In the early 90s, while in Kona, a little boy named Jesse Kendrick was killed. He was about 10. He was killed by a drunk driver. I used to take care of him when he was a little baby. I used to change his diapers. I would babysit him. He was just the sweetest little boy. Killed by a drunk driver. A little while later, when I started working in Kohala, I arrested my buddy, Daniel Eads. Nice man. He was a Vietnam veteran, small engine repair. I got to know him well in the gun club. Good, fun guy. I arrested him, and it changed his life. and his lovely wife, Warlita, imagined a much better life for each other, of him not wasting their money on alcohol, on him being sober. I pictured I'd probably be hanging out with him today, at this time in my life. A few months later, in the middle of the day, not when you think there's a drunk driver out, Mr. Pule, who I know personally, knew in his black Corvette killed Daniel on a road named after his relative, Akone Pule Highway. That's the road that goes through our town. People in our town, wonderful, loving people, knew Pule used to drink and drive. They could have made a difference. They could have truly loved him and called the police. True love is one of the definitions is doing what's best for a person. If what's best for a person is to save their life, then you call the police. You take away the keys. You do whatever you can. We kept on being called to a party of some young people. And they were, it was late at night, neighbors calling. We kept on going there. And I told them, I'm so glad I did. I told them numerous times, like, no, it's fine. We'll just go inside. We'll be quiet. Like, no, people need to leave. Does anyone need a ride? There's a police officer, and I'm going to give you a ride. I mean, within reason, has to be close by. People need to leave. I offered that numerous times. I think we got called the third time. And some people were leaving, and I hear some car take off kind of quickly. But we're dealing with the party, and it wasn't to something that we necessarily had to pull them over, but just, in a rush or whatever. A few minutes later, we get a call of an accident. It's only me. Imagine absolutely the darkest of dark. I'm down on a gulch. There's huge trees. There's not one bit of moonlight, starlight, anything getting down there. And I don't have radio coverage. And the truck is upside down. Engine is still running. And the tire is going. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, am I, going to be attacked? I mean, is this guy, what's going on? Am I here to save a life or arrest somebody or what? And then I see this barely alive person crouching, and I had to tell his beautiful mother the details. She wanted to hear the details. A couple weeks later of her son's death, and a few months after that, her other son died in an automobile accident, all avoidable. I'm sure that somebody in this room has been affected by drunk driving. I'm positive of it, that we know somebody. And there's going to be more. There is going to be more because of foolish people. I beg you to make it less, to do what you can. I mean, just think about that. When you really just think about that, I have the power to save a life by something I do as a 8-year-old that knows how to use a phone. Anyone. Even my brother. I just talked to my brother who's led a very different life. Thank God he's doing much better. We don't have an excuse. There's Uber. There's Lyft. It's so much more affordable to be able to get a safe ride. I think that's about it. Thank you so much. I know it's hard at this age or any age to sit this long and listen to somebody. I really appreciate you listening intently. And God bless you guys.